Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for this edition of Fed and Educated, our program to connect industry experts with the downtown business community and beyond to share great ideas and solutions. I'm Betsy Brennan, President and CEO of the Downtown San Diego Partnership. On behalf of the Downtown Partnership and our sponsor of this session, Addir Design, we would like to welcome you to Downtown 101 and being an insider's guide to being a tourist in your own city. To get us started on Downtown 101, I wanted to give a quick overview of our work at the Downtown Partnership in support of our urban neighborhoods. We're the Downtown Partnership. We are a nonprofit organization committed to advancing the economic prosperity and cultural vitality of downtown through membership, advocacy, public services, and community investment. We provide unique services to 275 blocks of downtown through our management of the Clean and Safe program. You will see our maintenance ambassadors, safety ambassadors, homeless outreach team, and placemaking experts providing services above and beyond those otherwise available through the city and existing government services. Those services include everything from picking up trash to removing graffiti, connecting someone who is unsheltered to services, sponsoring murals and corner planters, and being there to walk you home from work or a night out. Like the name implies, our goal for that program is to keep downtown's urban neighborhoods clean, safe, and thriving, which is the best way to enjoy them as you explore. You can request our maintenance and safety services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Downtown San Diego is comprised of 7 neighborhoods: City Center, Columbia District, Cortez Hill, East Village, Gaslamp, Little Italy, and Marina. You can learn more about some of these unique neighborhoods and the hidden gems in them through our Discover Downtown walking tours, an example of our placemaking work. The Discover Downtown program aims to promote the exploration of downtown's hidden gems through the installation of sidewalk decals and online story maps. You can check out Discover Marina and Discover Cortez, launched last year, and look for additional neighborhoods to be added as well as accompanying maps later this summer. To view our downtown murals in the neighborhoods that have them, we get to enjoy more than 90 arts and cultural organizations, 40 public parks, and more than 30 coffee shops in our downtown area. Not to mention the restaurants, venues, protected bike lanes, bars, and other amenities that make downtown so walkable and fun. We're fortunate to have a downtown that has everything you could want in terms of a live, work, play lifestyle, all combined with our unique Southern California vibe. We're working on sharing that with our current community and the next generation of downtown residents and cool businesses through our Create the Future initiative. And we're also very excited to welcome you all back for this summer that we have all worked and waited 1.5 years to enjoy together. So I'm really, really honored to be here today to welcome you back to downtown San Diego. During our Summer in the City campaign, we will be highlighting all the cool things to do in downtown on our events calendar, on social media, and with a big push starting with the Big Bay Boom on July 4th and through the opening of the San Diego Symphony's inaugural season at their Shell on August 6th, which you'll hear more about. Keep an eye out for fun things to do and cool prizes. Be sure to tag us on social and with hashtag #SummerInSD for the opportunity to be featured. And submit your own events for our event calendar if you haven't already done so. To submit your event, we have some information in the chat. As I mentioned, today's session was made possible by our member and local San Diego company, Addir Design. Addir Design was founded on over 25 years of hospitality design experience with a proven track record among all major hotel brands, including Hilton, IHG, Starwood, and Marriott. From concept to completion, they are committed to inspiring their clients with solutions that embrace refined and bespoke design. Their distinctive design environments add value, raise standards, and are defining the future of luxury hotels and residential communities across San Diego and much beyond. I would like to welcome and introduce Sherry Warren, President of Addir Design, for a brief message. Sherry, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. And thank you to the Downtown Partnership team for all their work on the Fed and Educated throughout the pandemic and now on the road to recovery and re-engaging in the city. It's really an honor to be a part of this Downtown Partnership. and to see how they impact the neighborhoods that we work and live in. Addir Design is a hospitality design firm. Like we said, we specialize in multifamily and hotels. It's been an interesting road in the pandemic, but I'm really excited to see how it's going to come out and what we're going to be doing in the future. One of the things that I do like to mention about Addir Design is that we like to partner with our communities, which is why the downtown partnership is so important to us. Whenever we do a project, we always select a nonprofit or a community effort that we can team with. We also are campaigning what's called #local to help local businesses. So we feature local businesses once a week, buying local fairs, whether it's candles or coffee, or just to get our communities back into shopping in their own neighborhoods. So we're really excited to be a part of this and a part of the downtown partnership and a part of what San Diego is doing to grow and thrive. I'm really excited to welcome and introduce today's moderator, Mariel Concepcion. She's a native New Yorker who relocated to San Diego County roughly about 4 years ago. For the past 3 years, she's worked as a reporter at the San Diego Business Journal, covering food, beverage, tourism, and hospitality manufacturing. So I'm sure she's going to be magnificent at this. So Mariel, take it away.
Thank you, Sherry. Can you guys hear me okay? Thumbs up. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you all for joining, and thank you for asking me, Downtown Partnership, for having me be the moderator. I'm thrilled. As Sherry mentioned, my name is Mariel Concepcion, and I am a native New Yorker. I've been in San Diego roughly 4 years, and as Sherry mentioned, the last 3 years at the Business Journal, covering tourism, hospitality, food and beverage, and manufacturing. So as you guys can imagine, I've worked with the Downtown Partnership throughout the years with Betsy and the team. And so, as I mentioned before, when they reached out and said, hey, would you like to moderate this webinar? I was excited. And so I thank you guys for having me. Before we start, I want to encourage the participants today to keep an eye out on the chat feature of our webinar today. Our participants, our speakers today and folks from the Downtown Partnership will be including some links there, some resources that will be super useful for you guys. But don't fret, after the webinar has wrapped up, the Downtown Partnership will send a recap to all of the participants. So if you don't get to write that thing down or don't get to take that photo of that one thing you wanted to capture, we've got you covered. And lastly, I want to encourage you guys to not be afraid to submit questions via the Q&A feature. We want to have a fun conversation, and we want to give you all the information that we think you guys need to be able to have a fun summer downtown. All right, so let's get started. I want to introduce you guys to our speakers today. We have an exciting bunch, and they are going to share with you guys the programming and happenings that their respective organizations will have going on this summer, starting roughly mid-June through the end of summer. So today I'm going to say introduce you guys, and then we'll get started with explanations once I've wrapped that up. Today we have Brian Hilemon, Senior Director of Marketing and Partnership at the San Diego Tourism Authority. Thanks for joining us, Brian. We have Ron Troyano, Director of Strategic Activation for SLP Urban Planning. Hi, Ron. David Koontz, Marketing Director at USS Midway Museum. Hi, David. We also have Katy McDonald, Chief of Staff at the San Diego Symphony. There you are, Katy. And Jaclyn Lash, Vice President of Special Events with the San Diego Padres. Thank you all, guys, for being here. We're going to start with you, Brian. Tell us a little bit about you, what you do over at the Tourism Authority, and what you guys have going on this summer.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. And obviously, we have great friends at the partnership. So thanks for inviting us on today. So it's cool to see the participants in here, because I think a lot of us already know each other and work together through our work at the Tourism Authority. But for those of us who haven't met, my name is Brian Hilemon, native San Diegan, been at the Tourism Authority about 15 years now. In my current role, responsible for our membership program, as well as advertising, sales, and partnerships. So we've got, obviously we're excited that we are now here in summer. Yesterday on reopening day could not come soon enough for our industry. It has been an incredibly challenging last, 14, 15 month period for our industry, but we're coming back and we're excited about that. So I want to share a little bit about that with you today, talk to you about kind of how we're positioning San Diego. And certainly I think as it relates to downtown San Diego and for downtown residents to enjoy your own backyard, I would say do it fast because they're coming. The visitors are starting to pile in, and the convention center is going to get activated here very soon. So a couple things that I think are interesting, that if we look at airport arrivals, just to kind of understand the ground right now, we're about 2/3 of 2019 levels in terms of airport arrivals. Most of our domestic network is back, but some of the longer haul flights and certainly international travels is what's going to take the longest to recover. When we look at the available seats coming into the market, again, via our airline partners, next month will be down about 27%, which is about a 10% improvement from June, which was about a 10% improvement from May, where we were down almost 40% in terms of seats coming in. And then when we look at how San Diego is performing as a market, the last 2 weeks, we were either number 3 or number 4 in the entire country in terms of hotel occupancy, which is a primary metric we use to monitor how we're doing. So that's pretty darn exciting that we were up in the top 3 or 4 in the country. If you're curious, the other 2 top markets were Miami, Tampa, and then Norfolk, Virginia Beach area. And Miami was actually getting, this is crazy, $257 a night was their average daily rate, which is almost $100 higher than we're getting in San Diego. And we're not doing bad. We're the leading market on the West Coast. We're beating LA, beating Phoenix, beating San Francisco. So that's really, again, exciting. I think a testimony to our great city and all the things that there are to do. It's certainly, most of our great activities are outdoors. And so with the tremendous amount of population in Southern California and Arizona, we've done really well. In terms of what that looks like, though, in regions and areas, and we really look at hotel occupancy in micro levels at different regions. The overall county average is in the 70s, or excuse me, low 60s. But downtown has been definitely the hardest hit region. Without the meetings and conventions to support those hotels, their occupancy levels have been the lowest in the county. And so again, that help in terms of the meetings and conventions can't come fast enough for that market segment for sure. And then we're seeing huge spikes on the weekends and then the trail off on the weekdays. So we've been working with partners to advertise and promote weekday offers to entice people to stay Monday through Thursday. So we're seeing, again, this kind of wild spike onto the weekends, and then everybody checks out Sunday or Monday, and then our hotels are really quiet during the week. So kind of jump into a little bit of what we're doing to stimulate the market and get things going. Also, if anybody's not currently working with us and wants to know a bit more about what the Tourism Authority is and what the opportunities are for the businesses to engage with our organization, I'm the person to talk to. So I think my email is in the chat there, and links to our site on how you can get engaged with the Tourism Authority. So in terms of marketing and positioning San Diego, we've got an $8 million ad campaign that's going to run through the end of the year, promoting San Diego to our drive market and to some further out markets. We're using a play on our happiness is calling tagline, and featuring happiness is calling you back, which is really fun. And then this is a little bit of inside baseball, but I figured we'd leave it in. And again, we'll send the slides out so everybody can see it, but kind of a flow chart of where that media is running. If you look over on the right, you'll recognize all those logos. We actually have a buy that'll be part of the Olympic broadcast this year, which is really exciting. And then I want to show you some of the fun content that we've been coming up with. So this is a 30-second spot that we have running out in the market right now. Actually, I need to restart my share so I can hit that little audio button. There we go.
When a new wave calls, you answer. When adventure calls, you answer. When the surf calls, you paddle out. When sunsets call, you find the best view. When the sand in your toes calls, you put more sand between them. When the ocean calls, you wave hello. Because when happiness calls, you answer. San Diego happiness is calling you back.
So awesome little 30-second spot we've got running there. And then our newest little creation are these 15-second bliss breaks. So these are just little 15-second social video clips that we're out running on lots of different platforms promoting San Diego. And we actually shot a bunch of new ones recently. You can see in the bottom right, there's the Midway. You'll hear from Dave later. And I want to show you the Petco Park one. The Padres were nice enough to let us get in there. I think this is like the day before, maybe the morning of opening day this year. But this is what these are. They're really short, little 15-second fun, super satisfying video clips. There you go. Like I said, 15 seconds goes fast. But we'll put the link into the our YouTube page that has all the other ones in there. There's a great one from the zoo. There's a cool fish taco one. And then the other, like I said, the other piece for us that's missing from our business mix is meetings and conventions. So we do have a whole marketing campaign going against letting the meetings industry know that San Diego is back open for business. And then this is really exciting. I think I saw Rip in the attendees here. But you know, we're obviously dying to get our convention center reactivated and back to hosting events. And it's exciting to know that the cavalry is coming in terms of these convention center events. The first one will move in for an August 1st start date. And then this is just kind of a smattering of some of the major events that we have on the calendar this year. But the back half of this year at the convention center, and certainly all of 2022, is going to be extremely, extremely busy. And so we, again, can't get that business back in fast enough to support midweek in San Diego. Okay, and then lastly, just a couple of, you know, my little tips, things I thought were cool to enjoy as a local here. Again, before you can beat the tourists out to the different attractions. The zoo's opened up a couple new exhibits, which are really cool if you haven't seen those, especially the Komodo dragon one is really cool. Those things are impressive and horrifyingly scary at the same time. There's also something really cool, these pop-up events called Candlelight Concert Series. I was actually walking to a Padre game with my wife the other day and noticed one of these through the window of the J11 venue on the way to the ballpark. But it's this really cool, like in the round, intimate thing, all candlelit. And it's usually like a string trio or quartet doing classical music, really cool kind of vibe. And you have to kind of know the address and, you know the secret knock or something to get yourself in. And then, you know, obviously events are back, which is cool. So Taste of Little Italy, we're super excited for Big Bay Boom. That's a huge event for San Diego on the 4th of July. Cross is back with a live music event. I'm probably stealing Ron's thunder, but I think the new Hess Tacos or Hess Brewing / Kiro Taco spot in Seaport is really cool. Awesome deck just to sit right there and look over the water. Storyhouse Spirits just opened up over on J Street. Awesome lineup of drinks over there. Gin is their main thing. I like their bourbon, which was awesome in an old fashioned. And then Cali just opened up, which is a really cool restaurant with kind of like a Mediterranean meets San Diego cuisine and flair. So that's my fast little list of recos here for everybody to enjoy in town. Mariel, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. Ron, you are next. What do you have for us at SLP Urban Planning for the summer?
Thanks. Yeah, tough show to follow there, Brian. Appreciate that. The fun stuff going on all over. So I'm going to share my screen here to tell you a little bit about SLP Urban Planning. My colleague, Stacy Pennington, who's the founder, would typically be the one that would be doing these type of panel discussions, but she is happily on vacation this week, which is great. So we'll give her that time off here. And pardon me, a little technical difficulty here. One sec, and I'll get my screen share going. All right, how are we doing? You see that now? Whoops, sorry. 1 second. There we go. So a little bit about SLP Urban Planning. We really have 3 different disciplines. We do traditional urban planning, human-centered research and design, and then strategic activation, which is what I focus on. We are the 3 of us. Stacy, as I mentioned, is the vice chair of the placemaking committee here at the partnership. Been a member of the partnership for quite some time. Chloe heads up our research, analytics, and design. She's amazing talent. We were able to bring her around a couple of years back, and she's been working with us on the Seaport project, as well as others here in downtown and beyond for that matter. We focus on, as I mentioned, urban planning, economic development, community and stakeholder engagement, strategic activation, and then we also have some sub-tendencies to work in business planning, operations, and integrated marketing communications, because we really look at our task as a full approach to an integrated solution. Some of our partners, some of them are attendees to today's webinar, as well as panelists. in any discipline, whether it's real estate or community building. We work with those folks happily in San Diego and in downtown especially. Some folks we've worked with currently, just a quick list here, and we don't need to go through this as much as I will share it out when we have this presentation and recording to pass on to the attendees. But we're excited to work specifically downtown in the Makers Quarter East Village area. Kind of founded what was going on over there back in 2013 with the Silo Event Center, and that's evolved. Now, currently, there's the Makers Quarter Neighborhood Association, which is a 501c6 that heads up kind of community engagement in that area. And some of the exciting things happening now that the pandemic is hopefully getting behind us, that there's a tailored salon that's opening up. They have some events scheduled, as well as Punch Bowl Socials come back online. Super exciting venue, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, but they're back open. And it's a nod to San Diego that Punch Bowl stayed in the mix. They ended up closing down quite a few other ones across the country, but that one is very active, and it's exciting to be able to reopen. Speaking of gin, Brian mentioned You and Yours Distillery is back open doing their thing over there in East Village too, which is awesome. It's just nice to see that energy. And that neighborhood association is there to support those members, as well as just the evolution of that neighborhood. The ethos over there is one thing that is really strong. The residential projects that are opening up, they're going to come online, are going to anchor that ethos as well around community. So look for more exciting things to happen over there this summer. And then on to Seaport Village. One of our main projects for the last couple of years has been helping with the revitalization of that property in contract with the port and alongside of Protea Property Management. We work closely with their marketing director, and we've done strategic activation there in a variety of ways. That happened quite a bit over the first year we were engaged, and then the pandemic hit, and we pivoted to most of that to be online and virtual, doing some live streaming, and moving into now where we can gather people back around. We're continuing to work with some of the live streaming parts, but now we can do it in person. And this is a kind of a more updated map view of Seaport Village. There's only a few vacancies left as it's gotten revitalized and leased up. Some of the new exciting tenants there, as Brian mentioned, Mike Hess Brewery and Quiero Tacos is there. But then we've got Spill the Beans, Sam Burgers is doing their thing. And soon to come will be Malibu Farm in the old Harbor House space. That'll open up in hopefully summer of 2022. But it's a fun place to pop down and enjoy the sea air. We partner with the new Children's Museum down there. They have a Studio by the Bay exhibit with the 2 artists in residence, as well as they do monthly workshops with DIY kits. Those happen the 3rd Saturday of every month. Good fun stuff on the live streams. You see on the right there, that's our mascot, if you will, Seaport Sailor Tim. He goes live on social media every Friday, and we do some giveaways and invite people down to come hang out with him. Do some live music, and as well as a fitness tip with Coach Paul Greer. That's happens every other Wednesday. So I encourage you to tune into the Seaport Village social media to see some of that fun stuff. Ironically, Brian, we are the secret spot for candlelight. The concerts are happening down at Seaport Village as much as they are at J11. We actually had one last night. We have another one tonight. If anybody's interested, you can get your tickets at feverup.com, but they do sell out. Over 140 people came out last night. It was great, gorgeous night for it. The candles are really create the atmosphere, and it's exciting. A few more coming up this month, and then those will continue on through the summertime. An intimate gathering, not quite the Shell, but it's fun nonetheless. The music's very, very enjoyable. This feature this month is the LBGTQ, and next month it'll go to, I believe it's going to be Beals to Bach. We'll start in July. Over at Lanefield Park, another space that we've activated over the past couple of years, they've got the Sunday artisan food markets. That also happens on Saturdays at Roco Park. And actually, we've just expanded with this operator to do Saturdays at Lane Field now as well, which is super exciting. So on Saturdays, that corner, that Central Embarcadero corner is just hopping. You've got the Tuna Harbor Dockside Market in the morning, Roco Artisan Food Market or Lane Field Food Market, and then hopefully we'll see some cruise ships coming back soon, and that really kind of get that corner to be what it should be. Or this weekend, actually, something to mention at Lanefield Park is a Juneteenth wellness celebration, and there's more information online. You can see that either at the Lanefield website or the Juneteenth wellness separation website. So a couple fun things to check out. And then lastly, just a couple of pics from our social media, just to encourage you all to subscribe to the Instagram SLP Urban Planning. And that's the quick run. Sorry if I went over 7 minutes.
You're fine. Thank you, Ron. That was great. David, I've lost you on my screen, but David, there you are. David, you're next. Tell us what's going on at the Midway. You're welcome.
Sure. Thanks, Mariel. And thanks. Good afternoon, everybody. And I'd like to also thank the Downtown San Diego Partnership and Addir for hosting this today and for the invitation to share some things about the Midway. I'm happy to report that even through the pandemic, the Midway has remained the #1 thing to do in San Diego as per TripAdvisor. So we hope that continues as we sort of move through the tunnel and get into the light here. And I thought I might just start with just a sort of a quick recap of Midway's pandemic journey over the last year plus. As everybody knows, the tourism and hospitality industry has been one of the hardest hit sectors of the economy over the past year plus, and Midway was no exception. A lot of drastic changes had to be made here over the course of the year, with visitation being almost decimated and travel being brought to a fairly screeching halt. So we closed in March of 2020, reopened in July, had to close again in December, and then we reopened in February. Unfortunately, we've been open ever since. Unlike some of the other organizations within the tourism industry, at least the Midway has an outdoor flight deck, and we have a very big open air hangar deck. So we were able to open under the outdoor zoo and museum guidance from the state. But it's really only been in the last month or so that we've been able to slowly open up some of the below deck spaces to give our guests a better experience when they're on board. And just in the last couple of weeks, we've been able to reopen our simulators on the hangar deck, our virtual reality experience on the hangar deck, as well as our Battle of Midway Theater. So we've been slowly and incrementally over the past, say, 7 or 8 weeks, been able to bring more experiences to our guests than we were able to do in that first year. And in fact, we'll be finishing some restoration work up on our island, which is where the navigation bridge and the aircraft and airport tower is. So by July 1st, we're hoping that the entire ship will be completely open for the first time in more than 15 months. And I think one of the things that's really unique about the Midway, regardless of whether you're a San Diegan or you're coming into San Diego from out of town, that sort of sets the ship or the museum apart from other museums in similar attractions is just that we're not static. So not only do we have those activities on the hangar deck that I mentioned, but we also rely tremendously on hundreds of volunteer docents on our ship. And if you've been on the Midway lately, you've noticed that they're the guys and gals that wear the yellow ball caps, and we've got them on the hangar deck, the flight deck, and throughout the ship. And what they really do is they truly have the intimate conversations with our guests that bring the Midway to life. The vast majority of our volunteers, and again, we have several hundred, are former military, most of them former Navy, retired Navy. So they're able to give our guests firsthand descriptions of what it was like to live and work on an aircraft carrier, what it was like to land an aircraft on an aircraft carrier and launch from a carrier, and just a lot of the other adventures at sea. So it is really one of the things that we consistently see in the reviews about visitation to the Midway is just how much people enjoy having the opportunity to come on board and talk to people who have really lived the adventure in the Navy, whether it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We've got some volunteers, believe it or not, in their upper 90s who served on carriers back during World War II. So we really bring, probably 60 to 70 years worth of naval aviation history to life in a really exciting way for the entire demographic, from young kids all the way up to seniors and stuff like that. So it's really a unique and one of a kind type of experience. And just to sort of piggyback a little bit on Brian, we are also very, very excited that the Port of San Diego is bringing back the 4th of July Big Bay Boom fireworks display. So we actually literally about an hour and a half ago just sent out an e-blast to our subscribers and to our membership base that we will be having once again for the first time in 2 years, 4th of July fireworks viewing party from the flight deck of the Midway. The event on the Midway will be about half the size as it was back in 2019, and a lot of that is just like so many other industries that are being able to reopen. It's going to take us a little bit of time to ramp up and get the number of personnel and resources back on board to do events on a larger scale. But I think for us, it's really kind of one of those little benchmarks. It says, okay, we're getting close to being back to normal by welcoming hopefully somewhere around 1,800 to 2,000 people from San Diego. Those will mostly be San Diegans that'll be down on the flight deck to get the best view of the Big Bay fireworks. And I think Sandy Purden's on the call, so we thank Sandy for all the work he's been doing over the past year to keep this alive, and all the production work that's going in to bring one of the best fireworks in the country back on the 4th of July. While it's shift gears a little bit, while it's not summer, it's sort of fall, but still warm. In October, we're going to bring back our Top Gun movie night, which is another great opportunity for San Diegans to come down and have a tremendously unique experience on the waterfront. We'll be showing Top Gun on the flight deck, and don't have the numbers yet. Details will come out later, but it's, like I said, it's tremendously fun to come down, bring your lawn chair, sit in the flight deck, big screen, and watch Tom Cruise fly his F-14 all over the place. So we're happy to bring that back. Another little exciting thing, it's sort of more of an enhancement to the experience of being on the Midway, but we just opened up our brand new restaurant called Cafe 41. It's the first time in more than 2 years that we've been able to have a full service restaurant. That's how long it's taken to go ahead and close the old one and completely gut it and redesign and build. And then of course the pandemic slowed us down a little bit. So we're really excited to have that culinary enhancement to the Midway experience. And the food's really good. And if you love French fries, these are some of the best French fries I've ever tasted down at Cafe 41. So that's a great reason to come on board. And I think also, since we're really talking a lot about things for San Diegans to do, and Midway actually is a visitation spot for a lot of tourists coming to town, whether they're coming as close as driving down for Los Angeles or coming from other parts of the country or internationally. It's still a tremendously great experience for folks that live here and see Navy ships coming in and out of the bay every day. So our membership program, we did a little revamping of that. We've streamlined it. So we've got a number of options on the Midway's website, that's at midway.org, that are great membership options. And not only is it good for people that live in San Diego to come back and visit, multiple times a year, but because we live in one of the best places in the country, a lot of friends and family are visiting folks that live here, and it's a great little excursion on the weekend to bring friends and family coming in from out of town. We also work a couple of alliance ticket products with some of the other attractions in town that, while they're somewhat oriented for tourists, there's still really great deals for folks that live in town. So the Go Card, where you can visit the Midway, the zoo, right around town on the Old Town Trolley, as well as several other experiences in San Diego. You can get a package ticket deal with them, and in some cases can save up to 50% on individual attraction prices. And the Hornblowers, which has kind of restructured itself as sort of the city experience, city cruises. We just started a partnership with them, along with Old Town Trolley, to have a great package deal, and again, some significant savings there. So, again, it's been really great here over the last couple of months to just see the number of folks down along the Embarcadero, down on the waterfront, really start to increase. And of course, with the announcement on the other day by the governor, we're only expecting that to continue. So we're looking forward for not getting back to 2019 levels, but we're really looking to start to rebound this summer. And we're excited for folks to come down and visit the Midway and get that experience of naval aviation history. And as you can see by the paraphernalia hanging on the wall behind me, I came from the Navy, did 20 plus years. And the only reason why I have this stuff hanging here is because my wife won't let me hang it in the house. So it has to come into my office. So it's great to sort of be back in the Navy once again sharing the Midway with not only the folks from San Diego, but the folks who'll be coming into town this summer.
Thanks, David. I actually really enjoy seeing all of it behind you, so I'm glad your wife made you put it there. Katy, from the San Diego Symphony, you are next. Tell us a little bit about what you guys have going on.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. My name is Katy McDonald. I'm the Chief of Staff at the San Diego Symphony. And special thanks to the Downtown Partnership for always thinking about how to make downtown a better place to be. As you know, the San Diego Symphony is completely devoted to downtown. We have now 2 sites. Our main hall is on 7th and B, and now with the opening of the Shell, we'll have a new presence on San Diego Bay, which we are thrilled to begin with. First of all, just let me remind everyone that we are the San Diego Symphony is the oldest symphony in the state of California. I think not everybody appreciates that, and I think the other thing to remember is that not every city gets to have a symphony. So San Diego is lucky to have a symphony, and one of the amazing things that's happened during the construction and the dreaming about this shell is that we've realized that a lot of community members from all over the city, all over the region, really do value having this professional orchestra in our midst. So we're obviously entering a new phase with the opening of the Shell, and I've pulled together some kind of up-to-date slides for you to get a sense of what's happening there. So as you may know, we had hoped to open last summer, but because of COVID, things really slowed down at the construction site. So we are very proud to announce that we're going to open this summer on August 6th. So we look forward to having you all there. Let me give you a little idea of what the Symphony set out to do with this site. As you know, this Embarcadero Marina Park South behind the Convention Center is one of the most spectacular pieces of property that we've seen on the Bay anywhere in California. So we saw this as an opportunity to create really an extraordinarily unusual place where culture and nature can really come together. And we knew when we had worked out there for many years that really being able to accentuate the beauty of that site was high on our radar screen. We also knew that having really exquisite and state-of-the-art acoustics was what was going to make this outdoor venue different from any other throughout the state of California, and actually very different from other outdoor venues anywhere around the country. We were absolutely committed to making this a very San Diego centric experience for people. We really want people to be able to go there and know that they've had a San Diego experience that they couldn't have anyplace else. And then finally, one of our goals and the vision here was to have this highly unusual venue, this highly state-of-the-art extraordinary venue, but also to have it be a public park. So I'll talk a little bit about that too. We are in partnership with the Port of San Diego. We have a 50-year lease on Embarcadero Marina Park South, and we are also in, therefore, partnership with the California Coastal Commission. So 15% of the time, so 110 half days a year, we can close Embarcadero Marina Park South for concerts and also for venue rentals. And we're working very closely with the Padres on that. So I think Jaclyn will be able to speak a little bit more about that. But that means that the 85% of the time, so the vast majority of time, this whole area, other than the stage and the 2 food pavilions, will be open to the public. And so we will have activities out there, but it's also going to be a place, an open space for families to come and for people to have their own kinds of activities there. So just to remind you the different kind of experience that we're going to have. You will remember this kind of rock and roll stage that the Symphony had inhabited for about 15 years in Embarcadero Marina Park South. And then on the right is a photo from the Shell in May of this year. So it is oriented in the same way, but the experience that people are going to have is going to be fundamentally different. So this gives you a sense of the view of it from Coronado. I've talked to a lot of people who have driven by the Shell on their boats, but then when they come inside, it's even more extraordinary from the inside. So I hope you all have had a chance to see this view, but I also can't wait to give you the inside view because it continues to amaze every time we get out there. One of the really special parts of the shell is that we do have flexible seating. According to our agreements with the port and the Coastal Commission, we can have up to 10,000 people in the venue. For those of you who've come to concerts before, we ordinarily have about 2,800, so this is going to be a pretty significant difference. There is flexible seating though, so we think that most concerts will be between 3,500 and 6,000, 6,500. But that flexibility allows us to have a whole variety of different kinds of concerts, as well as to really open it up as a public park. As I mentioned before, acoustics in this outdoor venue are incredibly important to us. The actual shape of the shell itself improves the acoustics and accents the acoustics, but we also then have two sound systems. So the cables that you see here hanging down with black microphones at the bottom is called the Myers Constellation system. And that allows the orchestra to really hear themselves on stage. And then we have an L-acoustics amplification system that takes that extraordinary sound on the stage and moves it out into the audience. So we really believe there is not another outdoor venue in the country that has this bespoke acoustical system. And I will tell you, over the last couple of days, the orchestra has been out there in full, and it is really awe-inspiring to hear how great this space is going to sound for people. This gives you a good view of the different seating options that will be available. So we will have our four tops that we've had for years and years up in the front. And then we have a new seating section just below that, which is called the San Diego Row. And that is a premium ticket opportunity where people can come and have their own table for all concerts during the summer with food and beverage and their parking taken care of. So we're looking forward to promoting that and offering that as an option. And then we're trying a new seating arrangement where you can just sit with a little table in between for two seats. And I honestly think these are just about the sweetest view of the stage and really an intimate experience there. And then we'll obviously have we'll have single tickets. Single chairs. And then also, depending on the concert, in the way back, some people will be able to bring their chairs and sit as they ordinarily would. Light becomes a really important part of the experience at the shell. So this is kind of taken from the side stage towards the Coronado Bridge. I think this gives us one of the great reminders that having a venue like this, having a venue that really is extraordinary and meets the needs of artists, is also going to allow us to encourage different kinds of concerts at the venue than we've been able to encourage before. So this just gives you a sense of the beauty of it. We also have an amazing light system on the stage. So just to give you a comparison, in the past, we've had about 3 spotlights to highlight different vocalists on stage or different musicians on stage, but now we have an entire system on the inside and the inner liner of the shell, as well as 6 lighting towers around the overall venue that have both the L-acoustic system, security lights, and additional stage lights. So it's going to be a fully immersive experience. And this just gives you another sense of what that lighting can do on the seating areas of the venue. This is the box office that you will see as you come in off of the Embarcadero. We do anticipate that a lot of people will be using their phones this time, so not so many paper tickets, although we are making an evolution in that way. This is an example of the beautiful white cement walls that really surround the seating area. And importantly, this is going to be also our donor wall. This is an $85 million project. It has been completely, other than $50,000 from the County of San Diego, for which we are greatly appreciative. This has been funded exclusively by community philanthropists in San Diego. And many of these have been very supportive of the symphony over the years, but importantly, we have all kinds of new people who are demonstrating their interest and their support of this, because this really is a civic project. It really is from our perspective, a gift to the city of San Diego and to the region. So that will be a great donor wall where we'll be able to acknowledge all of those philanthropists that helped us. We've moved to this very important slide because, as we like to say, or I say when we give the tour, some people are very excited about the new sound system. Some people are extraordinarily excited about the amazing San Diego-based food that we're going to have in our Preface Plaza and the pavilions there. But other people are really excited about the permanent bathrooms there. So we will have permanent bathrooms with us not being sad to not have any more porta potties out there. But we know this is going to be one of those amenities that's going to encourage a whole new group of people to come out and join us. This is a beautiful shot of the backside of the shell. So this is essentially the view from Embarcadero Marina Park North. So as you stand on the top of that space, you can look out and see all the wonderfully impressive Navy ships, and you can see Seaport Village. And this is also going to be one of those wonderful areas that will be available to rent. So we can imagine all kinds of weddings and dinners and even musical performances. It's a very flexible space, and I think it's going to allow us again to provide a great amenity for the whole community. These steps, beautiful steps, lead up to the top of the terrace that then looks out into the bay, and I think just demonstrates the kind of grace that Tucker Sadler, Greg Miller is our architect, our main architect, and just the grace and the detail that he's used in making full use of this beautiful part of nature. So you can see these beautiful white lights underneath the lip of the walkway, and at night those really cast this beautiful whitewash on the white concrete wall. So I think it's going to be immersive in terms of the music, but it's also going to be a really nice addition just to the kind of magical feel of the port itself. I mentioned quickly the pavilion areas. One of our very big goals was to have food and beverage that really reflected life in San Diego. And so these trees that you see on the side of the building are an homage to the importance of trees all the way along the park and along the port. And then the food inside these pavilions are 3 wonderful San Diego restaurants. So this is actually the Marketplace with Urban Kitchen Group. So that's Tracy Borkham and the Cucina Urbana group that are going to be in this space serving meatballs and pre-made salads and picnic makings. And then on the other side in the second pavilion will be Biga Pizza, which is fantastic pizza. It used to be on the corner of 6th and Broadway. And then Lola 55 and their delicious gourmet tacos. So the goal here is to have food and beverage that really, again, reflects experience in San Diego and life in San Diego, all to create an experience that people can't find anyplace else. So this is the view from the pavilions, and you can see at night all those lights will be on. So we think that this will be a real hub of excitement and a place of gathering before a concert and also at intermission. So as I mentioned at the very beginning of this has been a privately funded effort. We're in the midst of a $125 million capital campaign. We've almost raised $100 million. And I think, as I alluded to before, what's been so gratifying, I think, is to have so many people care about the symphony and our 82 full-time musicians who come from the finest conservatories around the country, actually around the world, but also so many San Diegans who realize that San Diego really deserves to have this unique cultural venue, kind of staking ground for arts in San Diego right there on the walkway and right there on San Diego Bay. So we're very pleased. We're making progress, but there's always room to help. So if anyone's interested in supporting the campaign, we of course can have information about that. So as I mentioned, we are opening this summer, which we're very excited about. August 6th, 7th, and 8th is opening weekend. For those of you who have spent time with us in the summer, it will be reflective of our multifaceted programming. So the symphony will be out one night. We'll have a celebration of the best of Broadway on August 7th, and then Gladys Knight with Naturally 7 will be with us on August 8th. And then, as you all know, we do a whole series of different kinds of concerts. So you can see Beethoven by the Bay, Smokey Robinson's coming. We are going to do the Star Wars movie, which is great fun to have all the kids and the families out there. And then Jason Mraz will be in concert with the orchestra on September 26th. And we've been working with Jason. This is the first time he'll be with orchestra, and we've had his charts created for this show. So this will be the first time it's seen, but I know it will travel around the country. So that's the shell in a quick overview, but we really look forward to having you all out there this summer.
Thank you, Katie. That was awesome. Jaclyn, you're going to be rounding out our presentations. Tell us about what the San Diego Padres have for the summer.
You got it. I'm so excited to share all of this with you guys. And also for the shell opening, I don't know about you guys, but as a native San Diegan, I'm just so thrilled to see the shell come to life. I think it's just so beautiful. And the San Diego Padres are partnering with Katy and the rest of the symphony to help generate revenue over at the shell through private events. So it's just an example of two great downtown venues and organizations that are partnering together to make San Diego even better. Can you see my screen here? I think yes. So I'm Jaclyn Lash. I'm the Vice President of Special Events with the San Diego Padres. And what I do is I fill the ballpark when it would normally sit dormant. So we activate beyond baseball. I'm also very involved in baseball events. So things like beer fests, wine fests, player family days, things like that. Anything except for the actual playing of the game itself. So, sorry, just making sure you guys can see this, right? Katie, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see it? Cool. All right, so obviously at Petco Park, we have the San Diego Padres, and this year has been tremendous already. It's one of the most exciting teams in baseball. Here's a little video recap of the team itself.
Tatis, he's going to lead Sports Center in a bat flip amidst the flashing lights. Diving stop, Tatis. John out of deep left field, and it is a grand slam to walk it off. Grisham started back, now coming in full forward. Grisham will dive and make the catch in center. The second bases clearing double. Eric Hosmer, have a night. What a shot by Will Myers. Here's the 2-2, swing and a miss.
The San Diego Padres are getting a top flight starter. Yu Darvish and a high-octane heater. Over-selling award winner Blake Snell.
Blake Snell has great feel for every pitch. First no-hitter in the history of the franchise, and it belongs to Joe Musgrove.
So again, as a native San Diegan, I mean, it's so exciting that we have such a great team, and the history or the future is very bright. So we're thrilled for the future of the team, and actually to be opening up to full capacity, which over 40,000, which will start tomorrow, and San Diego's opening day. If you're interested in tickets or know anyone that is, we do have memberships available. And what's great about the memberships is that it gives you priority access to single tickets, but then also postseason. So obviously we have every hope to be in the postseason this year and be playing baseball in October. And by becoming a member, you'll have postseason access. So as I mentioned, tomorrow we're actually opening to the public. We're at 40,000 capacity, so full capacity, and we're really excited for that. In order to celebrate this momentous occasion, we're going to have quite a bit of stuff going on. So we'll have a pregame DJ out in the Sequan stage in Gallagher Square. We'll have a presentation of the American flag with over 250 active duty military members. We'll have a military flyover. We'll have the full on-field lineup introductions of both teams, and we will have post-game fireworks. We'll also be honoring the local frontline heroes whose courageous efforts made this day possible. So we're really excited. We're going to make it look like the regular opening day that we would normally have in April, since we weren't able to do 100% capacity at that time. So If you don't have tickets, get them now because we're just about sold out, and it'll be a really fun day. Then moving on, we will have our first party in the park. Typically, we have these every Friday of the season. Obviously, we have not been having them until now. So on this Friday, June 18th, we will have Beer Fest out in Gallagher Square, and we're really excited. It's $5 beers from local and national partners, including Ballast Point and Budweiser. Gates open 2 hours prior to the first pitch, so it'll be at 5 o'clock on Friday. We're also looking forward to an all-fan giveaway, so it'll be our first of the season, and we're excited for the Aloha shirt. So if you come to the game on Saturday, you can get the Aloha shirt. And then also Sundays, we have traditionally done KIDSFEST, and KIDSFEST is back. So we're super excited to have activities out in the park. We'll have a petting zoo, we'll have face painters, balloon artists, and all kinds of inflatables for kids. We're going to make sure to keep it safe for COVID. So we're making a few changes to make sure that it continues to be a safe environment, but we're really looking forward to that. We're also going to be celebrating Father's Day, which will be terrific. So we're saying it's World's Best Padre. So bring your dad out if you want to celebrate the day with him. And then there's also the opportunity to do cat on the field with your Padre after the game. So obviously Petco Park is the jewel of downtown. We're right in the middle of downtown, and we're thrilled to be, and we consider ourselves a community asset. And we try to activate the venue as often as possible. We're continually nominated and voted in as the #1 ballpark in America. So San Diego can be proud that we are home to the #1 ballpark in America. We recently added a stage in what we call Gallagher Square now. It used to be called Park at the Park. It's a large concert stage for a GA venue. And up here on the screen, you'll see some of the stuff that we're doing coming up this summer. We have a lot more scheduled to come in. So we have Midland on June 30th. We have 2 sold out Chris Lake shows on July 3rd and 4th. We'll have Rancid and Dropkick Murphys in October. We're also doing a battle of the bands for high school bands. So if you or someone you know has a high school band and wants to participate, this is a great opportunity, and there'll be some great prizes, and that's on July 22nd. If you want more information on this, you go to padres.com/concerts, and all the information's on there. And then just some other stuff that we're doing. We will have Green Day, Fall Out Boy, and Weezer, part of the Hella Mega Tour. That will be on August 29th. Again, full venue, 100% capacity. And we're really excited to see the large stadium shows come back to life. We're also doing the Untapped Beer Festival in October. So you can get tickets for that as well. And then actually, you've heard it here first. It has not been publicly announced, but we are going to do a summer links. So normally we do links, which is our golf tournament that we have at the ballpark. We have 9 different tee boxes where you can hit golf balls onto the major league playing field. We are going to do a special summer edition of links, and that will be July 16th through 18th. More information will be sent out on that next week, but I wanted to give this group a sneak peek. You can get more information by visiting padres.com/the links. And then just a short video that shows what we do here. Again, thanks to the partnership and to everyone for attending. I really appreciate it and excited for what's ahead now that we're sort of back to normal. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jaclyn. You guys, those presentations were awesome. We appreciate you guys for putting those together. We are running out of time here, but I wanted to move into this Q&A feature. We only have one question submitted. Actually, Katie, someone named Timothy Clunan said, please call the shell by its proper name. So, so the Rady shell, right, Katie?
The Rady shell at Jacobs Park. That's absolutely right.
That's right. And then Mark Menken has a question for you as well, Katie. For the shell, will you be able to bring in your own lawn chair like before?
Yes, so we'll reinforce this. So at the Rady Shell at Jacobs Park, there will be opportunities to bring in your chairs for certain concerts. Yes.
Great. I had just one question for Brian, actually. Brian, now that we've opened back up, does this change the focus a little bit of some of the campaigns that you guys are pushing forth?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we basically started local and then have gone out concentrically over the past couple of months as things have opened up. So at this point now, it's wide open. You know, we were blasting out to our consumer database yesterday that San Diego is back open and ready for the summer. So certainly it's definitely expanding. We're obviously financially a little restrained from where we would typically be in a normal year with normal funding. But yeah, we're definitely ready to welcome those folks from other parts of the country.
Great. I think I have someone else asking something here. Jaclyn, I just wanted to tell you while I look up this question here that I am Dominican. So Fernando Tatis Machado, they make me very proud every time I see them out there.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, I love to say. I almost wore my Tatis shirt today, but you know, I thought it would be unprofessional.
Yeah, he's something else.
Oh yeah, he's special. Let's see. Yes, someone just asked if they'll be able to get answers to questions from the replay. The Downtown Partnership will be sending a recap to all the viewers, all the participants, so you'll be able to see everything that we've covered on here via the recap. I am going to send this back to Betsy to close us out, guys. Thank you so much for joining.
All right, I'm here, but someone is in control of my video. Here we go. Just a moment. Technology. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mariel, for doing all of our moderating today with this amazing panel. Thank you very much. And thank you to Sherry Warren and Addir Design for sponsoring this and making this session possible today. I'm so excited to explore all these different things with all of you and with my family, and you have things for all ages. So I just can't wait to get downtown. I want to also send a sincere thank you to our speakers for joining us today to share their expertise and insight. And a thank you to all of our participants who tuned in for this session. I know even more people wanted to, it just didn't work on their calendar. So there are quite a few people that want to have this recording. If you're interested in additional opportunities to hear and learn from regional experts, we encourage you to sign up for our email list to receive information on the next Fed and Educated session. We also invite you to consider a membership with the Downtown Partnership if these kinds of conversations would be helpful to your business or organization. We will make sure to give you the recording of the webinar. And with that, just thank you all for your time. Stay safe, stay strong, and we look forward to seeing you again in person very soon. Have a good day.